The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm here with my husband, fellow realtor, Pat Devaney.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good. We have with us a special guest, first time on our show, Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections. I love that name, House Standing. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for being here with us. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where we review many real estate topics. We have a full-time real estate office with many relentless realtors who've been listing, selling, and appraising real estate for 50-plus years.
During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, we have on the webpage, we have a webcam up on the roof of the building pointed at Dunmore Corners. So we get lots of hits every month, thousands of hits from all over the world on that camera. Take a look at it, see what the weather conditions are before you hit the roads.
That's what I do.
I know.
All right. View our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to mobile-friendly jruddy.com. That's jruddy.com, where we also have all the popular podcast apps that we feature our radio show on. And check us out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Okay, Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections.
Yes.
How about a little bit of your background, who you are, what you've been doing in life, and how you became the owner of House Standing Home Inspections, please?
Okay. Well, let's go back from the beginning. I kind of grew up in a family business. So kind of grew up in construction. Started when I was probably 14 years old. It's pretty much I was told it's if you're not in school, you're pretty much working. So it was just the
good old days.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't really have a choice on those. So I went from that point into commercial construction. I was in a carpenters union. And from the carpenters union, kind of went into facilities. I was in actually Avon. I started as a mechanic. Went into engineering, plumbing, electrical, machinist, steam fitter. I pretty much kind of did it all across the board on that. And then from that point, went into pharmaceutical and spent a good part of pharmaceutical years. So I have a huge background as far as not just residential construction, but also commercial construction. And it's pretty much everything from schools, treatment plants, housing, developments. So it's very diverse.
Very good.
So.
Okay. So currently you are House Standing Home Inspections.
Yes.
Prior to that, you had a handyman.
Yes, handyman services. And like I said, with my background, it's going to seem like a natural recourse. When I walked away a while ago from, let's say, corporate America and kind of went back on my own, which is kind of like back to the roots, which I enjoy, kind of like working with people, kind of like filling in their dreams and kind of giving them some ideas and helping with houses. And because of my background, it kind of seemed like a natural transition going from the construction background and everything I've done into home inspection. And I must have had like dozens of people over the years say, you can make a great home inspector. So when it kind of time came, I was like, let's get into this.
Yeah, good. Now, so, during the last couple years, there's no secret out there. A lot of buyers waived the home inspection. I'm going to give you a snapshot. So, as we have been talking about for a while now on this show, right? Real estate landscape is changing.
No, you got that right.
So as the U.S. is experiencing inflation and, the economy is up, down, and all around, the trend is especially true in real estate and home service sectors, such as inspections. Mm-hmm. Rising mortgage rates, the higher mortgage rates mean house hunters have more freedom now to ask for inspections, even as repairing and replacing household systems and appliances have become increasingly expensive, complicated, and time-consuming. So here's a snapshot. 70% of those surveys were first-time homebuyers of recent sales. 45% of the respondents purchased their home sight unseen. 40% of new home buyers said waiving inspections and or finding unexpected repairs was their biggest regret after purchasing. 35% of buyers admitted they wished they knew more about home maintenance and repair costs before purchasing.
Wait. You said 45% bought the house sight unseen out of that
now
70?
This is according to American Home Shield. This is their...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this is their...
It's scary.
Right.
That is scary.
So they, took a survey.
It was a frenzy. Everybody, we got to get it.
Yeah. So that's really, to me, even there were sight unseen people who had a chance to do a home inspection. I mean, if I was to buy, I don't think I would ever buy something sight unseen. I don't care. But if I did, I would want to do a home inspection because I would want somebody's eyes on it before I owned it.
Yeah.
But because of the bidding wars, and one house we had 22 offers on. Imagine. I mean, that's what was happening during the frenzy, right?
Yes.
I mean, bidding wars. So inspections were waived. In fact, I know there's been a lot of talk in real estate in the different offices. There were actually agents that told their buyers to waive inspections. We always recommended them and suggested that. But so there were no inspections. I'm sure you didn't. So you had your handyman business to fall back on, which was very smart for you because I'm sure that kept you busy because
Always.
During the pandemic, everything that we were reading and studying and learning was that people were doing home improvements.
Yeah.
Some of them
figure out if they're stuck in the house, want to make it better, right?
Right.
So, but it just, those are like really crazy stats. It really is. It's just from the aspect of just buying unseen and then waiving the home inspection itself. It's not really a good practice. And I'm just saying this from just a home inspection point of view, but just a buying point of view. I mean, it's a huge purchase that you're making, and to kind of go in there sight unseen or not knowing exactly what you're getting into is to me just a huge risk.
Well, this is the biggest purchase you're ever going to make in your life, and you're not going to look under the hood.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll buy that car, but it has no engine.
But it looked good.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and who was to know that was going to all develop at that time? I thought we were finished. When we were shut down, I just thought it was like
we're out
lights
of business,
out,
yeah.
right? I really thought that was the end. And I really thought it was going to be a better end than that, but little did I know it wasn't an end. It was the beginning of like a very, very, very busy time. So now we're slowing down. We've been slow. Supply, the listings still are at an all-time low right now. So everybody that I'm studying and reading up on, the experts, the so-called experts, National Association of Realtors, and then Zillow and Realtor.com, they put out their forecasts. The home builders put out their forecast. They still see supply low and prices going up.
Yeah. It's just, it's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys ever kind of get out or go down south or whatever. I was down south, well, let's say in the spring and the summer a couple times. And referring to south, meaning by like Atlanta, Georgia, and also South Carolina and North Carolina. And those areas down there, which I was blown away by, it was constant volume. The building that is going on down there, as far as not even just from a commercial point, but even as a residential, it's like one house or one townhouse after the other. It is crazy the amount of building down there. And you look up here to the Northeast in the PA, and you see a couple houses like here and there, but not the volume that is truly calling for. A lot of people are kind of moving out, whether it's the Hudson Valley, New York, or whether it's PA, and there's really not enough inventory. And it's just.
Let me ask you a question. You just talked about new construction.
Yeah.
Should a new construction home be inspected?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
Honestly, it just sometimes you'll actually find, because of the criteria, what was actually going on even just recently with the rising prices of all materials and stuff. So there was a lot of people that were getting in the binds as far as from a construction standpoint. As a contractor, they would go in and it's like, here they bid on this house at X amount of dollars, and now all of a sudden prices went through the roof. okay, where are we gonna get that back from? So corners were cut, and because of that, is now you have all these issues, and most of it, unfortunately, is structural.
So where were they cutting exactly, specifically?
Well, it could be just even down from the 2x4s on the walls, as far as nailers or spacers or whatever it may be, but it's just using inferior materials, using less. Like maybe they they were supposed to give this as far as a material, finish, but it took a shorter way out.
See,
a faster way out.
Until I became a realtor, I would never have considered getting a new building, a new construction, getting it inspected. I says, "Oh, it's brand new. It's got to be perfect." Why? How would the builder let it go if it wasn't perfect?
I've recently seen a new construction that had more issues than a house I just inspected 60 years old.
Oh my God!
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was bad.
It was structural stuff and wiring.
They actually engineered beam joist. They actually cut out. They had the missile line where the flange for the toilet is, and actually cut away on the engineered beam.
Oh man!
To make room for it.
So the plumber had a sawzall.
I couldn't believe they actually even did that. It's just, you got to be kidding me. So yeah, structural.
Yeah, well, like you say, it comes down to dollars and cents. If
Exactly.
I can't move a structural beam, I'm just going to cut a chunk of it out.
The choice was move walls upstairs.
Yeah.
So they'll just cut it.
Oh.
It is so.
And they're not going to see it because at the end of the day, they're going to bury that.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
It's so important that someone that is inspecting, I can't say this loud enough and clear enough. It is so important that a home inspector chosen has the necessary credentials and background in order to identify these things.
Mm-hmm. No, agree.
So your construction background is priceless.
Oh, definitely. Just like I said, from the residential standpoint of growing up in the industry to 4 years of apprenticeship program in a carpenters union, journeyman carpenter, going into commercial aspects. So there's a huge realm. There's a lot of knowledge I have learned from a lot of people over the years.
So when you're doing an inspection on a new construction, do you go in just one time or do you go in during different phases of the construction?
Usually phases.
Different phases. So you can see what's going on, but there's no sheetrock, right? Yeah.
Because once it's buried, you definitely want to see when everything is open, roughed in from that point, because once they bury it with rock, it's unknown. And like I said, during inspection, it's a visual inspection, so it's just, you don't know what's in the wall. You just know how the wall is. So.
Frightening, really and truly. So when you go in phases, how does that work? Because usually a home inspection package is given to the purchaser, and it's usually the inspector goes in at one time. So how do you price something like that? Is it each time you go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on whether it's going to be just the framing aspect, roughing in, whether it's the plumbing or electrical. Well, usually there's an electrical contract was signed off on that also, and then you have your final walkthrough as far as once everything is rocked.
And when you're going through the structural inspection, do you take pictures and include all of that in your report?
Oh, definitely. It's key. It's very important.
Because there were some inspectors that we had who didn't do that.
Well, I have a story you're bringing to mind. So this is very recent. So we had one of our agents she had a buyer that was purchasing a home that was being constructed. It was in the midst of being constructed. So quality materials, and it wasn't in our immediate area, a little off our beaten track. But anyway, the buyer wanted to have a home inspection. And but there were things that had to be completed before this home inspection took place. And the builder was also the owner of the property. So he was actually constructing this home. And things kept changing during the midst of the contract. What was negotiated on the front end kept changing to his benefit. And so it never got inspected, but it fell apart right before. He kept pushing out dates. And so the buyer wanted a driveway. He said yes, then changed his mind a month later, so on and so forth. But the point I wanted to make is that brand new construction usually is given a 1-year warranty covering the construction, and that was not going to be given. Also, there wasn't any sort of certificate of code compliance that was going to be given, and the buyer still wanted to purchase the property as long as they can conduct a home inspection. When it came time for inspections, things weren't hooked up. Electrical still, the panel wasn't in. There wasn't any running water. So they kept pushing the inspection off. Well, the deal finally fell through, and it never was inspected. And I wonder if the seller didn't want it to be inspected. I have to wonder about that because an inspection never took place.
It sounds like it to me.
Yeah.
With us today from House Standing Home Inspections is Stephen Scott. May I have your contact information, please?
Yes, you can actually reach me. My email is Stephen with a PH, STEPHEN, at housestandinghomeinspections.com. You can also reach me by phone, 570-251-1052. And website is www.housestandinghomeinspections.com.
Very good. Thank you, Stephen. Pat, would you like to review a listing, please?
Yes, we have a great property. I like this a lot. I wish I had it. It's a garage. It's at 1035 East Elm Street in Scranton for only $69,000. This garage, it's got a 12-foot door in the front, and it's in great condition. It sits on a flat 40 by 160 lot with a paved driveway and a parking in the rear. It's currently used as storage, and it's got a large open interior with high ceilings and 2,200 square feet inside. The floor is concrete, the building is cinder block, and it's got steel I-beams for a wide open interior. There is also a small office inside the front of the building. That's a large garage at 1035 East Elm Street in Scranton for only $69,000. That's listed by Dan Callahan of our office. And I could put lots of stuff in that garage if it was mine.
But it's not yours.
No, it's not. It never will be.
And it will not
But a man
be yours.
can dream.
Yeah.
We can always fill. Right?
Yeah, we can dream.
Okay, I'd like to welcome Kristen Bond. Kristen Bond is a realtor who has been practicing real estate for 2 years. She just joined our office. Kristen was born and raised in West Scranton, and she currently resides in Green Ridge with her family. Before deciding to venture into real estate, Kristen worked retail pharmacy and earned her national certification as a pharmacy technician. She also worked as a paraprofessional in the public schools with special needs children. Kristen is very caring, honest, and a compassionate person, instilled with a hard work ethic. A career in real estate affords Kristen the opportunity to help others, whether it's selling a family home or helping them find their dream property. She is a driven and dedicated person who puts forth 100% effort. She'll work hard to make the process of selling or purchasing your property as stress-free as possible. She can be reached at 570-290-5552. Welcome, Kristen Bond. She's a great addition to our office.
She's great. I've seen her. She's a hard worker.
Time for a short break. We'll be back with more Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. When considering to sell or buy a home, why choose Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate? Let me tell you why. 70% of home buyers settle for the first agent they meet, and many regret it. 90% of home sellers hire an agent, but was it the right choice? Don't have agent remorse. I'm Jackie Ruddy, and I've been in and around the real estate business for most of my life. And at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, we've been selling real estate for half a century, but we do not do it halfway. You deserve better than average. Average doesn't help you. We know it's all about you and what you need. Century 21 is the #1 in brand awareness, is the most recognized name in real estate, and is the most respected in the industry. In this market, if you dream big, you need to move fast. So it makes perfect sense to contact Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, 570-344-6724, and visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com. We're back with more Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, and with my husband, fellow realtor Pat Devaney.
And we're back.
We're back with Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections.
Hi again.
Again, yes, hello again. Before we get back into our discussion, I'd like to say hello to Marshall Chang, who is a frequent listener of the Real Estate Roundtable. Thank you, Marshall, for tuning in. We appreciate you.
And what about Billy Griffiths? He's always calling in.
Billy Griffiths, yes.
Yeah,
Billy.
He's dying to be a guest.
Yes. He has a lot of interesting topics.
Oh, he's got a lot of stories.
You're right. Okay, Stephen, before the break, we were talking about new construction and why a home inspection is important even on a new construction. Even when, and most new construction builds offer a 1-year warranty on the construction, right? So still get a home inspection is your advice.
Definitely.
Even if there's a seller's disclosure on a existing home, a lot of times buyers feel that, well, there's nothing on the disclosure, I'm good. Is your advice still the same if there's a seller's disclosure filled in and completed that is, pretty extensive? Looks like there's a lot of information being given. Would you still recommend a home inspection?
Always. I mean, there really could be a little bias there, but you never know. But just definitely, I always suggest a home inspection.
And this is from personal experience?
Definitely.
What happened?
On one of the new constructions?
No, yours.
Oh, mine. Oh, one of them I found, they said it was actually good. And you go down to the basement and the crawl space.
So they said it was good. The people,
said it was good. No issues.
No issues.
Was this on a house that you purchased?
No. No, that's another one. We'll get into that one. So it's another one I inspected. It was like so you kind of go into the crawl space. Everything is great, and they had kind of plywood there, and in a basement. And the basement went to this like dirt crawl space, and you go in there, and I'm like, "What is plywood?" It's like it was kind of held up by some. You just kind of look behind there, and sure enough, there's a crawl space. And you walk in there, and there's an old stone foundation. And the old stone foundation, actually, I can look into the backyard.
Through the foundation?
Through the foundation. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, you walked around the house and it was like, you can see on the corner, they had a bucket on the side of the house kind of covering the hole. So it's like, and supposedly nothing is wrong. So like I said, it's always good to kind of get a fresh set of eyes on that and, and really kind of taking a better valuation with it. That's for
Lots
sure.
of times when they're doing seller's disclosure, people don't know what's wrong with their homes. I mean, you got an older woman who's been living in the house for 30 years. She doesn't know that there's termites in the sill plate or anything downstairs.
Or radon. It's a colorless, odorless gas.
Yes.
You wouldn't know, right? So, but that happened to us with the foundation on the purchase that we made, and we're in the real estate business, and we did have a home inspector, and it was totally missed. And I do believe the owner definitely set out to conceal this information and didn't want anybody to know, but put a blanket over the
wall. Right. They put a piece of plastic over the wall that was actually bulging in. And it was missed by our inspector, who is not doing it anymore, thank God.
But we had to reconstruct that wall.
Yeah.
Oh, and he missed the termites, too.
Yeah, he missed the termites, too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. But what happened on your purchase when you purchased a home?
Yes. So moved out here to PA, and pretty much when I kind of moved in, had a recommendation from a home inspector, to kind of come in and take a look at the house, and look at the house, and I kind of questioned him. I kind of looked at a couple things and gave me the report, and I'm kind of going through the report, and I'm going through the house, and it wasn't anything. Thankfully, nothing big, nothing really structural. The foundation was good. The roof was good, but it's just wiring. I had the three-way switches weren't working. I had outlets going to nowhere. So there was definitely a few things missed. It wasn't big, but it was enough. Saying to myself, this guy's an inspector. It's like these are kind of small things, like the low-hanging fruit. You really should be kind of catching.
And so this is what motivated you, probably. One of the things that could have motivated you because you know that you could do better.
Exactly. And so like one of the same things is like, okay, why am I not doing this? So therefore, here I am.
Here you are. So this was a recommendation that was made to you, though?
Yes.
Okay. Because you're not from the area. You wouldn't know.
No, I was in Hudson Valley.
Right. So you took a recommendation from someone, and that's who you hired, and unfortunately they missed things. But it wasn't anything major.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah.
Thankfully,
Yes.
right? But you had the home inspection.
Yes.
And that's why home inspections are important, to identify these things. A lot of times deals, and you can't fault the sellers that had the 22 offers that went with the cleanest contract, cash, no inspections, no contingencies.
Yeah.
You can't fault them because that, they don't want all the red tape that goes along with home inspections. And a lot of times you're back negotiating a deal because either the buyer's asking the seller for repairs to be made or asking for money off. So, they want their price and they want to move on and they don't want to be haggled. So I get why sellers, it's to their benefit. But a lot of times home inspections can kill our deals.
Yeah.
Right? But on the story that I made before the break about the new construction and that deal fell apart, I was actually relieved because I just thought that the buyer was getting into more than they should.
Right now, with new construction, lots of times, if I have a loan and I'm getting a new construction, the bank will send out an appraiser to look at certain phases of the construction to make sure that it's proceeding. Lots of times people think that by the bank looking at it, that they're actually inspecting the property. They're not inspecting the property. They're just an appraiser. It's not a home inspector. They're just looking and saying, oh, well, this wall was put up. They're not looking and saying, well, is this wall done correctly?
Yeah.
Are the studs spaced properly? Is there enough insulation? They're not doing that. They're just going to make sure that it's done. So a home inspection, I cannot stress this enough, even on new construction, is essential.
Essential is true, yes, and that's just for the draws. That's just that the bank releases the money for the next phase of the construction project. It's not to make sure that everything is being done properly or correctly. It's just that it's there.
Yeah.
Signing off, yes, it's there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
Email is Stephen with a PH, STEPHEN at housestandinghomeinspections.com. You can also reach me by phone, 570-251-1052. And website was www.housestandinghomeinspections.com.
House standing. Not outstanding. House standing.
Yes.
Homeinspections.com. Thank you, Stephen, for your time today. Would you come back next week?
A pleasure.
All right. Pat?
Yes, we have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home at 55 Pittston Avenue in Yatesville for $210,000. This ranch-style home has over 2,000 square feet of living space on one floor. The kitchen was remodeled in 2017, and it has a new ductless heating cooling system. The home is beautiful hardwood floors and a great open floor plan with cathedral ceilings and a fireplace. This home will need some TLC as the third bathroom has to be completed. It's already plumbed and just waiting for your personal touch. That's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, ranch-style home at 55 Pittston Avenue in Yatesville for $210,000, and that's listed by Kristen Baum of our office.
Thank you. I have scam alerts from the Dunmore Police Department. They put this on their Facebook page, warning everybody this is the time of year, and it's happening. First, be aware that the IRS will never contact you by phone and demand unique forms of payment, such as Bitcoin, iTunes gift cards. Never provide anyone with your Social Security number or bank account info over the phone. Second, no law enforcement agency will contact anybody, any individual demanding payment in exchange for lifting an arrest warrant. It is common for scammers to scare individuals into believing there's a warrant out for their arrest, often saying there is a warrant issued against your Social Security number, and then they demand an odd type of payment. So that's a scam. Third, it is a very common scam to receive a phone call or email regarding the security of your home computer. Never provide individuals payment or personal information via phone or email in exchange for virus protection. And,
we have experience with that.
Yes. And it's really hitting elderly people. Also, attention local businesses. A new scam has been targeting local businesses, especially establishments that have deployed Bitcoin ATMs. Educate your employees that you would never request that they deposit the register till into a Bitcoin account at your establishment.
Yeah, I got a phone call from the IRNS, and S. It's not the Internal Revenue Service. It's the Internal and Revenue Service.
We're out of time. Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Remember, we're here next Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m. for more Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker.